in a really slow, even way. Now, the best thing for making caramel like this is to have an agar. And you can use a little pan like this, make a lot more sugar than I've done there, and then you can bung it in and out of the agar. And of course you've got the all-round heat that will maintain it at the right sort of temperature that you're looking for. Now, the reason why we want this to cool evenly is because it's got to get a certain coolness to it and become a bit more viscous. Now, at the minute, if I lift this up, at the minute, it's a bit drippy. And what we want is for this to come off the spoon in a fine thread that's really even. And at the moment, it's too hot to do that. So that's why I want to leave this in the bottom of the pan. Probably going to be all right with that kind of positioning there. And now I do put the spoon in because I want the spoon to warm up, so that every time the spoon goes in and out, I don't want it to change the temperature. The spoon will reach the temperature of the sugar rather than the other way around. And then I won't stir it. So as soon as you stir, you'll pull that trail of bubbles through, which will break the thread when you start to try and do some spinning. Now, if I was going to make some proper spun sugar, then I would have a couple of forks back to back and put those in when the sugar's at the right temperature, and then you can flick. Now, when I was chefing and used to do lots of sugar work, then I'd have a whisk with the ends clipped off with some pliers. So you can imagine a many-pronged thing. It doesn't have a name, it's just a sawn-off whisk. And you pop it in, and then each prong of the whisk would throw out a fine thread, like a spidery sort of thing. And then you'd have two clean broom handles, greased, lots of newspaper or a bit of old cloth on the floor, and then you'd literally flick, and you'd have this fantastic fine thread coming out that would be caught on the broom handles, and then you can pick it up, wrap it round into a big kind of swathe, and it's essentially homemade candy floss. And then, in days of old, chefs would then pop it on top of their croque-and-bouche, or a hat or something. Actually, that would be a nightmare. But that would be, you know, a sort of thing to do with spun sugar. So just looking at the temperature of this now, it's now in a really nice thread. So I let most of it come off, and then I've got my newspaper here, and I'm using the ladle at this time just as a means of catching what I'm doing, because I'm not really sort of ready to do a basket yet. And you can see with a twiddle such as this, and you mustn't worry about mess. Yeah, if it comes into the front row, ladies, just duck. But you can see, like, now it's now so cold on the spoon that it's not coming off anymore. So then you go back in and get a little bit more. I should have this a little further away, really, because I don't want all my bits to go in it. But and by really flicking it, you can see that it will come off, and that's it. No more will come off from that bit. So I'll get a bit more. And each time I put the spoon in, I'm not stirring it. It's literally a kind of dip in and out. Take off any other threads, and there you see that's caught on itself there, but we've probably got enough there. So then I greased the ladle just so that it would not stick, and then you can imagine in a big one of these to decorate a big sort of dessert.